I got distracted by a cat and you can't even see him. You might be able to hear him pawing. Hello strangers, I'm Savannah and this is my recommendations for the StrangeAThon. If you haven't heard about the StrangeAThon yet, it's from the 22nd of July to the end of that week, 28th of July. There's 7 challenges, there's a Twitter and now a Discord dedicated to the StrangeAThon if you're interested in that. All the information will be linked down below, as well as previous videos talking about the StrangeAThon. The StrangeAThon is starting tomorrow, hopefully, as you're watching this video. In fact, it actually has already started for some people, but if you're still struggling with that TBR, I have some recommendations for you. I wanted to have this video filmed ages ago, but life stuff has happened recently, making filming not a priority, so sorry this is a bit late to be fully helpful. If you can hear like a weird pawing noise in the background, know that I am surrounded by cats. Well, this one's already up. Of course, he's Brack. For the StrangeAThon! He's also like half asleep. Any kids on, he doesn't like love. So I've already made a video announcing and talking about all these challenges, so here are just some of books that I think might be helpful if you're still struggling. The first challenge is Summer Criming, which is to read a book where someone breaks the law. So this one is, I think, fairly easy, but if you don't like reading thrillers, a lot of the time I do have some suggestions where people break the law in contemporaries, such as Devoted by Jennifer Matthews. Someone is paid under the table, which is technically against the law. Like, it doesn't have to be serious crimes, it just has to be something that's technically against the Lucifer! He just bit me. Still pawing. So it doesn't have to be like a serious law, it could be something minor, something that people do break all the time and they just don't think about it. Another contemporary where someone breaks the law is North of Happy by Ali Astron. Now this is a more serious crime because somebody is killed in this book, but it's more about grief than like solving a murder or whatever if you're more into contemporaries, so it still kind of counts for that even with a serious crime happening. We also have Ramona by Julie Murphy. This book actually covers a lot of challenges, but the way it covers this challenge is by having trespassing in it, which is a crime in America. Not a crime where I'm from. Technically you can't trespass here, but I mean you still get in trouble if like you did damage to someone's property, and it's still weird to like go into someone's garden. That would still be seen as socially unacceptable to do, if not technically a crime. We also have The Language of Stars by Louise Hawkins. This involves trespassing and vandalism, and it actually involves them paying for their crimes by being forced to learn poetry. So that's actually a main part of the book. We also have Stay Sweet, which technically has trespassing and thief, but they steal ice cream. So, you know, technically a crimes, but you'd have to be like kind of a weirdo to actually call the police about that, because they walked in the place they trespassed in, but technically it was trespassing, so it's like technicalities a lot of this stuff. And my last kind of recommendation is to read a Batman or any superhero comic book, because basically vigilantism is illegal technically in all these comic books. I mean, I think maybe there's some scenarios where it stops being illegal, but for most comic books, vigilantism is a crime. Also, they're fighting crime, so that it's the several layers of how that covers that. The second challenge is Pride Parade, which is to read a book with a queer main character. I don't think this one should be very hard. A lot of queer rec lists out there, so you should be able to find something based off other people's lists and that, but some of my favourite queer protagonist books are Cat Clarke's last 3 books that she's had out. Those are dark contemporaries. We also have the Sawkill Girls, which is a horror thing. I like that. It has Ace Rep, which is fun. Dress Codes for Small Towns by Courtney C. Stevens. This is quite good. There's more than one queer character as well. Truth About Keeping Secrets by Savannah Brown also has a queer main character with queer side characters as well. Yumona Boo has a questioning bi main character. I've seen people straight up say she's bi, but she doesn't actually find words. At the start of the novel she identifies as gay, and then she meets an exception to that. So it's kind of questioning, but also has side queer characters as well, so there's so much queer fun. Those are just some of them. There is a lot of good queer character books out there now. So the third challenge is Halloween is Every Day. Read a book you've been saving for Halloween. This one's kind of hard because it really depends on what sort of books you like to read around Halloween. I know some people, they read thrillers, and other people like actually go for like horror and ghost stories. Some good horror stories are Dawn Cruikshan's books, The Creeper Man / The Trees Are Creeping In, and her first book, House of Dead. I haven't read her latest one. That might come to play later on in my StrangeAThon life. If you want some old school YA, you could go for The Haunting by Bagot Mao. That's set, I want to say Australia, but now I'm like, is it New Zealand? It's not the UK anyway, or America. Also have Sheets by Brenda Furman. This is a graphic novel about a ghost haunting a laundromat. I actually think this book is partly set on Halloween as well, so that's fun. The Archive series by Victoria Schwab also has kind of spooky feel to it because it deals with dead people. On the thriller side, Little Monsters by Karen Thompson, Watching You by Lisa Joe is really good. People Like Me by Diana Miller. This would also cover Pride Parade. Sadie by Courtney Summers, because it's really good. Everyone's going to keep recommending it, but it's really good. The fourth challenge is Halfway There, which is to read a book that came out this year. I don't really know what to recommend this because like, obviously you hear about the books that are really good that come out. And obviously if you have access to ARCs and you need to read a book that's going to come out this year, you can do that. If you're really struggling to get a book that has came out this year, you could just use it for a book you acquired this year, and that counts borrowing from somebody or the library. So, you know, none of these challenges are set up for people to have to spend money to fulfill them. So if you really don't have access to a book that came out this year, one that you got this year somehow is also fine. I'm not really that strict about the rules. But if you do have a book that came out this year, then you have to read it. The fifth challenge is British Summer, which is to read a book where it rains. It's been raining a lot recently in my British summer, so this fits. I know this is the one that's probably slightly harder than all the other challenges, but there is ways to do it. Like, if you have an ebook, you could just search ebooks for raining and you'll find it that way. But here are some books that I know definitely have rain in them. I have read all these books, but I don't necessarily recommend them with the highest regard, but some of them are good, so. Last Boy and Girl in the World by Siobhan Vivian. This book features rain a lot because it involves a town flooding, so rain does play a really important part of this story, and the weather is important. We also have the Rain series, which involves rain being really important because basically rain becomes poisonous and it kills anyone. So it is a big part of this book as well. Yumona Boo, it also rains in that. The Key to Midnight by Dean Hughes. It rains in this book, but this is also one of the books where I'm like, I don't know if I really recommend it. It's kind of This is a suggestion that you can use this book for this challenge, but I don't know if I really recommend it. We also have Walking in Time by Ajay Station. I don't have any strong opinion on this book, so yeah. Those are books where it rains. The sixth challenge is to read a book where someone goes camping. This is probably easy / hard at the same time. This also includes summer camps, which usually is on the description of books if it takes place in a summer camp. Like the Lumberjanes graphic novels clearly take place in a summer camp, and you can use that. Also have Back Crane Point by Kerry McFalls, that involves actual camping on a beach. Also have Savage Island by Burn Pierce. This is a horror book. It's quite gory. It's not really my type of horror, but if you like gory stuff, it could work for you. Also have Submarine by Joe Drummond. Somebody sleeps in a tent in this book, and that counts. It's alright. We also have Spring Break by Barbara Stenner. Someone also sleeps in a tent in this book, and it's a point horror, so, and it has a skeleton on the cover, so I just thought I would mention that you could read this book in theory. I don't think a lot of people will have access to point horrors anymore, unless you're like me, who collects them kind of, so you like get a kick out of them. We also have Kindred Spirits by Rainbow Rowell. This involves people camping out for the Star Wars films for some reason. And by Star Wars films, I mean the latest ones that came out and you book your ticket online. So basically choose to sleep in the street for no reason, but still counts. Books I haven't read but know involve camping are Lying About Last Summer by Sue Walkman. That's also somebody being sent to a camp. Oh, also Night Film by Marisha Gone. But that's quite a big book. That does involve someone being sent to a camp for wayward children. And also Campfire by Sean Sagles is a book I haven't read, but does involve campfire, I'm told. The last challenge is Binding Shine. And this is a cover challenge, so I'm not really sure what to suggest for this, because it really just depends on what you own. And I did joke in the announcement videos, if your book is from a library and it has those covers on it, then that counts as Shine. And you can also look for the word Shine. So those are all my recommendations for the StrangeAThon session summer. Point 2. Yeah, this is the second summer session, so I don't know why I'm being weird. Were those recommendations helpful? Please tell us down below. I will see you weirdos next time, where I will have my own reading to figure out. Farewell. Just get on with this video. But like, his collar matches my hair right now, so I didn't even do that intentionally. Please don't lick me. What is with animals and licking me when I'm wearing makeup? I turned you off.